The $100 trailer. Was it worth it? We're about to find out. So as you know, I bought this trailer for $100 and it needs a little bit of work. It's worth its weight in scrap, but it's worth a whole lot more as a trailer. So let's see what I need to do and to get it roadworthy. Apparently, whoever mows my neighbor's yard has no idea what personal boundaries are, or boundary lines. They made a mess. So what we're going to do tonight is jack this thing up, get the wheel off, and get the spare out, and we're going to go and put new tires on this thing. Got an antique bias ply, and I don't even know what that was. These are old 6-lug wheels, but they're 15-inch, so finding tires shouldn't be that hard. At least you wouldn't think. This, however, is not the ideal way to jack up a truck. You really want this attached to something on this end, but I don't have anything on this side. So we'll get it jacked up, put on a jack stand, and get this tire off, and we'll just go from there. I've got my air ratchet, so hopefully this will make quick work of this. Oh boy, they are stuck. This right here is the weirdness that happens when you don't have it hooked to something. So we've got 2 of the 3 wheels off. We've got that on a jack stand, that on a jack stand. Remember, safety third. So it's getting late. It's getting on 9 o'clock, so I just got home this morning, so I guess we'll clean up tonight and we'll catch you tomorrow. So it's the next day. Rained last night. We've had a ridiculous amount of rain here, so let's get these tires loaded up and head to Hayesville. Typical small town life. I've got to run downtown to check my mail before I head to town. So we got the tires dropped off. Be back in about 11 o'clock to come pick them up. So that's usually just the best way to do it. If you can, just drop the tires off and come get them. And so I guess we'll see you at 11. I've got a weird fetish when it comes to cars. I got a Mercedes thing. I like classic Mercedes. But if you're ever up here on the north end of Wichita, over here at Eurasian Motors, he's got a YouTube channel, Eurasian Bob, but they've always got some interesting stuff. It's kind of like the white trash of luxury cars, but it's really cool. He does some really neat stuff, and he's got a foreign car junkyard in the back. He's got some interesting stuff, and some unique stuff, like this Saab wagon. Bunch of BMWs, Jags, you know. He's got a lot of good stuff out front. So if you like Euro cars, but you're on a budget, it's not the cost of buying the car that's the problem, it's the cost of maintaining the car. But if you're wanting to get into it, just start, someplace like that is a great place to start, because you can get a car affordably, and if it doesn't work out, you're not out as much as you would be if you went to a wholesaler, so, or a retailer, I mean. So it's something to think about. So we got the tires picked up. I'm not sure it's ever going to quit raining. Good night. Wanted to do some more shooting outside, but it's just really coming down. It's kind of lightened up, but still pretty bad. So let's get back to the house. We did get a pretty good deal on the tires. Didn't get them balanced, but mounted, disposal on the old ones and all that, plus the tires was $35 a piece. And in today's world, I mean, back in the old days, it would have been 20 bucks for the pair, but ain't the old days anymore, and used tires are a premium. But I got some good 10 plies he had. They're kind of wore out. They were on the front of something, but for what I'm doing with them, they're going to be perfect. So $35 a piece, getting $70 for the pair. So we've got so far now we've got $170 into the trailer. So let's see if it's actually worth it or not. This is what happens when you are gone for months. Getting home can be an adventure. Apparently it's going to be a wet, muddy one. I should probably slow down, but where would the fun in that be? This isn't flooded like it normally is, so I guess it's not that bad. It usually floods through here. You should try going through that in an Oldsmobile. Oh, we finally found some pavement. I'm gonna go for it, because if it doesn't work out, I'll always think it should have. Ha ha! Got out on the other side. Well, the rain has almost subsided, so let's get the tires out of the truck and I'll show you what I got. This is gonna be a lot dirtier when it dries. There we are. So there they are. These are actual 10 ply 225 75 15s. Specific trailer tires. So as soon as this rain quits, we'll get it put on the trailer. It quit and now it's starting again. So I'm gonna close this up, and as soon as this quits, we can get back to work outside. So we got the tires on both sides. I didn't bother to show you that because, well, y'all know how tires go on, but they both came out pretty well. Now, due to the fact that, well, those lights don't work because for some reason they keep burning out. Either that or I leave them on, the neighbors knock them out. I'm not sure yet. I have to do the wiring now, so let's go over the wiring real quick before it gets dark, and I'll show you what I got to do there. The wiring is a mess. It's got an old school 4-plug, which we're going to do away with, but it's all just literally been tied in. But the cool thing is that I've noticed is that despite that, these are the stock wires, and if they're still attached to the back, there's a good chance I can plug in, and they might actually work. But I do have a new wiring harness for it. But if these things work, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of money on this. So if they work, I'm going to use them because, well, it's a $100 trailer. Alright, so what I have here is a trailer light harness kit, 2 replacement sockets. I couldn't get 2 that were identical for some reason, and extra bulbs, and I truthfully need one of these in the other car. Now, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time tonight on this. We're going to plug it in, see if any of these lights work, and if they work, we'll use them. If not, we're going to rewire it all. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time troubleshooting because I can actually rewire the whole thing in less time than it would take for me to troubleshoot the whole system and fix it. It's easy. About 25 bucks for this and about another 20 bucks for everything else. Well, in a funny twist of fate, they actually work. I was not expecting that. Now, the park lights don't work, but park lights don't work on any trailer I own. I think I got a problem with the plug on the truck because it doesn't matter what trailer I hook up to, the park lights never work. So I'm going to assume they work. I'll hope for the best, but let's try the blinkers. Okay, we got a little work there. Same for the other side. So the last time this happened, there was a bad socket, so yeah, we'll see what happens. It appears to have brake lights too. Right now I'm trying to be a junior electrician and I'm failing at it. Well, I know it works, so I think I'll figure this out tomorrow. So I guess I will put the truck up, and like I said, we know it all works. At least the wiring's hooked up, kind of. So we'll get this all done up and see you all in the morning. This is where I talk about the importance of auto repair manuals. I have this one here, which will give me all the information, and curiously, this was inside of it. Now, on top of fixing my electrical system, I can find the star and planet locator. It's actually kind of cool. But I'm going to go through this book tonight, and you ask why I don't do it on the internet. Well, don't like the internet. So this right here will tell me everything I need to know, and it doesn't take power. And one of these days when the internet's not available, you'll know how to do something because you'll have a book. I take that back. I said I was going to get back with you guys tomorrow, and then I sat on the couch for about 20 minutes and was like, oh, I know what I need to do. And then now I'm back. So we got all the wires hooked up here, ran it through here, and have it to the plug. The only problem we were having was with the ground, and I figured it out. I could not get this ground to the frame anywhere, but I did find some wire. I'll have to redo this as a speaker wire, but it works. And I have it grounded to this bolt on the inside, right here. I could not get it to ground anywhere else on the frame. It grounds to the body just fine, so we'll just do that for now, but eventually I'm going to figure out, I'll have to reground the body to the frame, and then we'll have to do it that way. But until then, this will work. So as soon as I can find my ever disappearing roll of electrical tape, we'll be done, and we'll be ready for a test run tomorrow morning. So now that I got my rain gear on, it's still raining. Got the trailer hooked up, so we're gonna pull it in the rain, and I can get out of this ghetto look. That's better. Now let's get some coffee and take it on a test pull. Had to make a pit stop. This thing is very thirsty. So far, the only thing I've run into since leaving the house is that one safety chain is too short, and that one's almost too short, so we have to keep an eye on that, because I'm probably going to end up having to replace these. What I really need to do is get some longer chain and have them welded on. Safety chain that are bolted is more of a token kind of thing. Well, so far it's pulling pretty good. It's tucked in there square behind, a whole lot better than it did when I picked it up. So what did it cost altogether? I'm fitting to tell you. So, picked the trailer up for a $100 bill, drug it home. First thing I did was I went and I got tires, $35 a piece. We're up to 170 bucks. $25 for the lighting kit. I ended up not using most of it. So the extra lights and stuff like that, I didn't end up using that. So right now we're at right at $200 even. I'm not going to count the stuff I didn't use because I'll use those on other things. But the reason we bought the extra sockets and whatnot was just because you never know, and when going to town becomes a pain because it's so far away. You know, it's not like popping 2 or 3 blocks over to the parts store to get something. You know, it's almost to the point where you have to plan. So I got the wiring put in and all that, so I'm right into it for just right at $200. The only other thing, and I don't know if we'd really add this or not, was the hitch is 1 7/8 inches, and I had to go to Tractor Supply. So yeah, maybe we'll be in for 240, but an extra $40. I had to buy a receiver hitch. It's to find one to fit my regular 2-inch slide for pulling regular trailers is very hard. So they had one at Tractor Supply, so I went and bought that. So it actually hooks up to my regular receiver hitch where I pull my other trailers. And so yeah, right at 200, and we'll just round it up to 250 because I know I'm forgetting something minute in there. But and if I go and make some new, safety chains, we could probably add maybe another $40 in there. So I mean, for under $300, I got this thing. It's running and all that. It pulls really well. Not a bad deal. But the crying shame of it all, it's a 1967-68, and I got to looking under the plastic liner that's in it, and it's actually in really good shape. The guy just used it as a scrap trailer, and it's been abused. Truthfully, had this been in any worse shape than it was, it may not have been worth working on. But for what I'm going to use it for, it'll work fine. So, hope you like this little journey. I like trailers. I like doing things like this. So, I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. We'll see y'all next video. The trailer was a little bumpy going through Hayesville. But then again, we're all a little jumpy going through Hayesville.